Everyone around the world has watched with heavy hearts as Russia's president, Vladimir Putin, launched an unprovoked, full-scale invasion of its neighbor, Ukraine, the biggest military action in Europe since the end of World War II. How can we as Christians here in America, far from the conflict, be keeping our Ukrainian brothers and sisters in our prayers? That's what we're going to discuss with the Metropolitan Archbishop of Philadelphia of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, Borys Gudziak, and he joins me now to share. Borys, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, and all thanks to all listeners who are praying for Ukraine.
Well, we are praying for Ukraine. And tell us, if you can, what have you been hearing from the people on the ground in Ukraine as they react to this?
Well, I spent a couple weeks at the beginning of the month of Ukraine. I'm coming to you from Paris. I serve kind of as the international relations of our church, and right now I'm trying to explain in different capitals what is going on. There is a great humanitarian crisis. The battle is very strong. The Russian army has about 10 times as much resources as the Ukrainian army, but the Russian soldiers really are not motivated. Some of them who have been captured today have confessed that 3 days ago they didn't know what they were going to be up to. Right. They were kept in the dark. These are young guys who are being manipulated by a political system.
Right. Archbishop, we are having some communications problems a little bit, and we know that we are getting you from
Russia,
Paris. There it goes. Okay. I think we're having some connection challenges, and we're going to try to get those resolved. As you heard, he is coming to us from Paris, and he also was just speaking there about the conversations with with Russian soldiers and what are they being told, even as well. It sounds like we have you back, Archbishop.
I hear you well.
Okay. Well, we were having some,
sorry about
you
that.
were breaking up a bit for us. If you could, how would you describe the mood of the Ukrainian people right now? Is it resolve? Is it fear? Is it despair? How are people reacting?
It's a mix of all of the above. People are tough in Ukraine. You know, if an inch of snow falls in Washington, there's a run on toilet paper. Ukrainians, you know, have had a very hard history. 15 million people were killed in the 20th century by the totalitarian regimes in world wars. Russia has been at war with Ukraine for the last 8 years. This is just an escalation, and it's become a comprehensive war. But so people are tough, but, you know, people don't want to die. People are afraid for their children, for their families, for their homes. And so already in the first 36 hours, there's a big flood of refugees moving to the different western borders of Ukraine. The borders are clogged. There's lineups of cars for 15 miles. Right. People walking to the border, carrying small children. War is devastating. Tonight, there's fear assault on the capital. Putin out the Ukrainian government and put in a puppet government.
Yes.
So Ukrainian Catholics, one thing that I want to emphasize is all the Christian confessions and the Jews and the Muslims are together against this war.
Yes.
They're all together. There's this all Ukrainian Council of Churches and Religious Organizations that has been working together for 25 years on
Yes.
social issues. And they really, you know, speak in unison on this one.
Yeah.
Ukrainian Catholic Church, every time in the last 200 years that a Russian government, Tsarist, communist, or Putinist has taken over Ukrainian territory, the Ukrainian Catholic Church has been wiped out, is a visible legal structure. So we have great concern, but we have faith in the Lord.
Yes.
We've been wiped out, but we've come to life again.
Well,
and we pray and we ask people to pray to be informed, and you're doing great work by, explaining these things. And
Yes.
3, to help regarding the humanitarian needs.
And that is exactly the purpose of having you on, is so people can know how to do this. Another question just about how people are reacting. Ukraine is holding off Russia alone at this point. Is there any sense by the Ukrainian people that they have been abandoned by the rest of the world?
There is. There's quite a bit of quiet bitterness. There's a sense that, Western European countries, especially Germany, Hungary, Italy, have kind of sold out. Cyprus is a place where a lot of Russian oligarchs have their ill-begotten money in banks. They really welcome the sanctions coming from the US, but say too little and too late. Much more should be done.
What are you telling people to do? For those who are watching and listening right now who desperately want to help in practical ways, if possible, do you have any suggestions?
Well, prayer, I believe, is very practical. It brought the Soviet Union down without a war. Nobody thought the Soviet Union would fall apart. It was a superpower armed to its teeth with nuclear weapons, and then it fell apart. It was a grace of God. It was a miracle. So pray for that. Pray for the suffering. Pray that the soldiers, the defenders, have courage. They're incredible, these soldiers. See, the Russian army is not well motivated. People in Russia generally don't want war with Ukraine. The Ukrainian army knows that this is a fight for life or death, fight of life or death for not only their country, but their families. And, it was a devastating day for the Russians. 1,000 Russian soldiers were killed today. The casualties are very high, even though Ukrainian army is armed, much more modestly. So prayer, informing people.
We got 15 seconds.
And donate. Donate to humanitarian causes. There, if you look up on our Archeparchy has
Archbishop
a site.
Gudziak, sadly, we are out of time. We do need to get back with you because I know there's so much more to say, but we really appreciate your time here, and we will be praying for you.